Hi guys, Mike Moo here. I'm going to talk about my first foray into a laser engraver. Now, the one I'm talking about here is the LaserPecker Pro, and the one I have is the Supermodel. As you can see, the Supermodel is $689.99. I did not buy it for $689. What I did was I purchased it from the Amazon warehouse like new. And it was still very expensive. If you're looking for a laser engraver, you want something cheaper, this is not the one for you. But this was one of the most popular ones, and they started out selling these on Kickstarter. They've done very well. And as such, there's a lot of users out there and a lot of support for something like the LaserPecker. Now, this will work directly off of an app. Now, I've used it exclusively off of my iPhone, and I have found the app very easy to use, but also limiting in some ways. So if anything, my feeling about the LaserPecker Pro is that this is great as kind of like one of those gateway drugs into the whole laser engraving thing. So after I got this, shortly after that, I decided that I wanted a bigger unit. But first, let's talk about this unit here. So let's see about, the description, how accurate my experiences were with using the LaserPecker for some of these as a complete 100% novice. Okay, first the kit. The Super Kit has the most amount of stuff in there. Some things I feel like aren't really necessary, so if you want to go to a cheaper model, totally fine. I just wanted to get everything just in case, so that I don't know what I'm missing out on. The Supermodel differs from the Suit model, or differs from the model one down below, and we'll take a look at this right here. It has a little chart here, and pay very close attention to this chart. The L1 Pro Super has this case. This case is not bad. I think a retail value of $40 is not inaccurate. Granted, whether or not someone will actually pay $40 for the case that fits this thing exactly, I don't know. But I'd say about $40 retail is what you're looking for. So if you're looking at this one versus the next one down, which is the L1 Pro Deluxe, keep in mind that this is designed to hold the LaserPecker L1 Pro and all the stuff that it comes with. Okay, so as you can see, it just kind of looks like that. And it has molded cutouts for all the stuff in there. So you see that right there. And obviously it's fit perfectly. Yeah, you can cut out your own stuff via foam or something, and you could also have very similar results, but then you got to spend some time. So if your time is worth it, get the L1 Pro Super, then you have everything good to go in one case. All right. Now the unit itself is actually very tiny, and really that's all you need. Pretty much all you need the LaserPecker Pro itself, and a USB-C cable, a regular USB-C cable. USB-C to C probably isn't going to work out that well because this is really low wattage. So this is an USB-C cable and you're good to go. If you carry the tripod with it anyway, you're also good to go. There's fixed dimensions, fixed length of focus for something like this anyway. So at the bottom gist of it is this is really all you need to do and produce everything that that's advertised to do, including mostly what I was doing was laser etching. Okay, I didn't do a whole lot of laser cutting. Even I did, but mostly what I do is etching with this. So it comes with protective glasses. The protective glasses are nothing to write home about. They're the same cheap ones that are used by all these other Chinese companies, and they look like this. They will go over your glasses. And I'm seeing all the models here right now also include these. Now, this makes everything look a little bit green. It'll protect your eyes enough, supposedly, from the lasers when you have these things on. But if you get the Super Kit, Deluxe Kit, or the Suit, it comes with the magnetic, well, actually the higher one. Mine came with a magnetic, just kind of clip together side pieces that are orange like this that help to filter out that UV radiation out so it doesn't hurt your eyes. And that's pretty much all this does, is protect your eyes, which are very important. I definitely don't want to lose access and use of my eyes due to some laser accident. So you get 4 of these that will go all the way around the unit along with the stand. Now, pretty helpful, pretty useful. Could you build your own, or can you just wear glasses? Yeah, you can. That's why you don't necessarily need to travel with that. Type-C cable, you can purchase any of those yourself. Any $5 cable that is USB-A from one side to USB-C on the other side is fine. Although, if I were you, well, with this kit though, and we'll talk about the stand in a little bit. It's an autofocusing support stand. With this kit, you get the right angle ones, which are really nice to have and very useful in using this unit. Then you get the adapters, and I do believe that is just, yeah, it's just this. So it's just the switching power AC adapter that outputs the USB-A. The autofocusing support stand is where it's at, though. That's primarily what you're paying a lot for. This is so that you can set up something down on the surface, and it will have lasers that shoot out. These are more eye-safe lasers that will shoot out and then automatically adjust the height distance ratio to the product that you are engraving, as long as you're using a top-down. So it opens up like this. Very simple, easy to set up. It opens up like that. You pop this thing open, and then the L1 Pro, LaserPecker L1 Pro fits in right over here in this opening. And you got the power cords and stuff that come in here, and then also a little bit of control panel. Now this, you can lower, raise it, and then also finally you can automatically set the distance. So it'll shoot out lasers from the bottom of this unit here, okay, to the surface down on the bottom, to some sort of flat surface, and then the camera will then also figure out what distance it'll be and automatically set it itself. Pretty cool. And then there's also a built-in fan so that you don't scorch the things that you are laser burning. So all these things are pretty useful. If you buy this separately, I've been looking online on eBay, it's $200. Quite pricey for something that is completely optional to use this product. Still really cool to have. I'm glad I have it, but if I were to pay an extra $200 separately, I probably wouldn't get it. Now, the base unit itself comes with this little dinky little tripod. These are super cheap. Nothing special about it. In fact, I think this is the crappiest accessory that they give, but it does the job. It's super lightweight and small, and has extendable legs. Retail value probably $10, probably just a couple of dollars on the market. Nothing to write home about, but it is included in every single one of the kits as far as I know. So that's what you get in the L1 Pro Super. There's no software. I think there's a little bit of user guide, and there's this little mat here you put at the bottom. This has LaserPecker on it to help you kind of align where your stuff is. But actually, when you're choosing things that you're going to laser etch, it will shoot out a frame in laser with what it is that your entire thing that you're engraving will look like in terms of the space that is on the surface. So it'll do an outline basically of what you're etching. If you do send them an email or something about your LaserPecker, they will give you this little case. I did not do that. You also get a few pieces of little cardboard paper to practice on. And one of the first things that they will teach you to practice on is actually to etch out. See that? Laser engrave, or etch out your, you see a little bit is actually cut there. The LaserPecker logo. So overall, you can get up and running in a couple of minutes, assuming you have enough internet speed to download the app, and it connects via Bluetooth. Very simple to use. Now, one thing I was a little bit disappointed about was that I needed to have the Bluetooth in range to the between the phone and LaserPecker in order to actually do some laser engraving. So if you're doing, you got to keep in mind that this is low power, right? And as such, it's kind of also slow. So you can speed things up a bit in terms of how fast the laser moves, but because the laser is moving so fast, there's not enough laser power on the one area to etch. So you're gonna have to do it really slow. Basically what I'm saying is that for a lot of things that I've been etching, I've had to keep it connected for a good 10 minutes or so, which means if I'm walking around, moving around, basically the phone has to stay close within Bluetooth range of the unit. So that's something to keep in mind too. So if you're thinking about just uploading some sort of image or graphic file or PNG or JPEG or fonts or something else to be etched on there, and you're thinking about just walking away with your phone, yeah, don't do it. It's just gonna not work. All right. Okay, let's go over a few other details. In-app editing preview mode. I gotta say the app's not bad. there are limitations with what you can do with the app. So I'll just go ahead and say that this is great for a casual user. And for a product that's this small with such low power, you're pretty much going to be casually using it anyway. It has a 0.15 accurate light spot and a high quality 405 nanometer blue violet laser. There's no limit on engraving height. This is true. You could set this thing up as high as you want. As long as you get the power to it, right? And as long as you got power and you got the focus, it's going to work out pretty well. And yeah, it even works with a power bank. So if you have something that will produce consistent power, and you're going to want to test this before you work on different projects, it can completely work off completely wireless. So that is pretty much what you're paying for. The portability, the wirelessness of the whole thing, and just the casualness of this just makes it a lot easier to travel with and use, or move around the house and use, rather than getting a dedicated machine. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later. The engraving range is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. File formats it supports are JPEGs, BMPs, PNGs, and even G-code, which is basically a lot of what the laser machines use as actually G-code. So it supports just about everything that you'll want to use. Now, as far as the accessories, if you're going to be doing a lot of production things and changing things a lot, like height, levels, and stuff, autofocusing support stand is something you're going to want, and you're probably not going to want to buy that separately, so just get the whole kit. The protective shields are, it's nice to use in an area where there's going to be a lot of people walking around, because you don't want an offshoot laser just kind of beam someone in the eye. So I guess that's kind of good too. So, get the kit with that. Forget the big case. It's around. It's useful. I wouldn't pay the extra money for it, the $40 for it. Not likely that if I were going back, I would probably get the next one down, which is without the case. I'd rather travel with my own case and put these things in there. Now, looking at the things that they've made in here, it is absolutely possible to do all these things. Here's the thing with this is that you're going to have to do a lot of trial and error, and there's going to be some materials that you're going to have to practice a lot on. And I will say this, look at this laser engraved, and it says laser engraved wood. Laser engraved wood, your results will not look like this on a regular piece of wood. You're going to have to prep the wood in order to get results like this. And there's various different channels that show you how to prep the wood. One of them is just to get a mixture of water and baking soda and spray your piece of wood, let it dry, and then engrave. It'll engrave a lot darker. Otherwise, they come out pretty light. Okay, so keep that in mind. And that's just the way it is with the low power laser that this does. But you can do any of these things here. I definitely laser engraved my wallet, and I don't have that example around me right now, but I'll put some links to some examples of some things I've done. I've not laser engraved a cloth. You can obviously definitely do that. I haven't done that yet. I have laser cut paper, but I've not done any projects like this avatar. That looks pretty cool. Haven't done it. You're going to want to use G-code with this. G-code and Inkscape, which is a free software. Free/sponsored pay. I think you can pay to do some upgrades. Anyways, there's some software you can use it to cut out things like this. And you're probably not going to be designing things yourself like this. You're going to download it from certain websites, and I'll have links down below where you can check some of these things out. Laser engraved color paper. Yeah, I have not tried this one. This seems like a pretty cool thing. The gist of it is you have this design that you load up on your app, you put some glitter down, and the laser engraving will then burn the glitter into the paper. Looks pretty cool. Haven't tried it. Laser engraved colored wood. Yeah, I haven't tried that one out yet. See, there's all these cool things that you could try out. If you're a lot more creative than I am and a lot more crafty, you can definitely do these things. I haven't done any of these other things. I primarily just used it as far as engraving things on paper, labeling things on pieces of paper, and just because I have it lying around, engraving little pieces of wood, even little popsicle sticks. I've done some pencils. Definitely do a lot on the wood. Now, a bit more about that. When you're engraving these things, you got to know that you're burning things at a high temperature in a very concentrated small spot. It's going to get smoky. It's going to get really smelly. And there's going to be some things that you're going to want to try and engrave, but you should probably look up to see if it's going to release any really toxic chemicals and poisons that you definitely don't want to be around. Simple enough. Doing it on paper and wood is okay. Now, I've tried engraving plastic on some of my tools, and that is a noxious fume that spews out from that. So I did a test. I probably won't do it again, but I did it, and it was completely stinky. I'm so glad that I left it outside because it took maybe about half an hour to do, and the results looked okay. It just looked like someone melted a brand. I just put my name on there, a brand on plastic, and it stunk. That's definitely not something you're going to be wanting in the house. Now, this fan that is included in the stand is really only there to keep the smoke outside of the material that it's being etched on, and also to help cool the material down so that it doesn't have a, burn marks all over it. Okay, so it looks cleaner. It doesn't look like it's burned. And that's all the fan does. It does not help you with any of the air quality stuff at all. Okay, so you're going to want to do this outside or get some other external fan in order to extract those fumes out away from anywhere that is occupied by anybody. Easy to use and locate. Yeah, it's not bad. Now, if you want to do something more precise, I guess that's where they have this mat that fits right underneath the stand. And I guess that is kind of useful to use. I did find it somewhat useful, but this isn't really for like high production stuff, like or mass production, I should say, mass production stuff. You're not going to be doing like 50 tags with this and really enjoying the process. You can, but it's going to take you a really long time. And so then that's where you start looking at other solutions and more expensive laser engraving stuff, something that is not designed to be as fun and portable as this. And that's what this is really mostly about. Let's see what other features it has. It's portable, long-term usage. Yeah, I can definitely see this definitely exceeding the length of the warranty, which is really only 1 year. It's got supposedly a 10,000 hour laser lifespan. So looking at this realistically, you could probably do at least 10,000 engraves with this, and you're not going to have any problems. So you'll get your money's worth if you do end up using 10,000 laser engraves. The password lock actually gets to be a little bit annoying, but I understand for safety reasons, it's a good thing to have. Overheat shutdown mode, never had a problem with that. But if you do, keep in mind you are using lasers and you could potentially overheat something or set something on fire and it'll shut it down. I guess that's useful. It's definitely more important on a more powerful laser to have that. This is not a very powerful laser. And yeah, you can still set things on fire. Okay, it's still laser, still got to watch out. Motion detection didn't work out that well for me. That just detects whether or not something got shaken or moved while it's laser etching, so it will stop. It'll let you know that there's motion detected and that it'll turn off laser. Can you imagine if for whatever reason you walked away unattended, you left your phone there because you're etching something and it's going to take like 30 minutes to an hour, and for whatever reason a cat knocked something over and it kept going, and the laser's now pointing at your curtains or something super flammable. Yeah, that's what that's for. But it will only really stop if there's any major big motion. Little bumps, actually, I found out really that might still mess up your print or mess up your laser etch. It didn't really stop. And I don't think that's adjustable either. I'm sure they could adjust in software, but it definitely was not as adjustable. The big case, again, I'd probably skip it. I'd probably get the L1 Pro Deluxe model. Really depends on the pricing and availability of what's going on and available right now. I'm just looking here on eBay. It's $689.99. I see that if you sign up for a business account and use the business account, you can actually get up to 20% off. But typically that means you got to buy a couple of them to get the business discount pricing. And yeah, I can see people using this casually for business, just to offer a little bit of etching and laser engraving. Now, here's something where I thought that would be kind of cool if I had it, was to laser etch, let's say, my MacBook. Let's say just with my information on there. This isn't going to be able to do it out of the box. You're going to need something more powerful to do a good job of it. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying you're going to be very disappointed with the results. This isn't what it's for. All right. As long as you keep that in mind and you are okay with the price and know that you're paying a lot to get the portability of it, then yeah, check out the LaserPecker Pro. Now they have a version 2.0 model that's coming out. I have not had my chance to get on that. I found out about this after the campaign ended, so I'm actually not going to be able to get one anytime soon. But if I do, you know, I'll give you my thoughts on it. But these are pretty much my thoughts on the LaserPecker. Just know that if you really love it and you use it a lot and you find that there are limitations on here, this is going to be kind of one of those gateway drug type of things, and you're going to want to upgrade. And I'll probably produce another video on some of the other models that I purchased and will be trying soon, and some that I've tried. I like the X-Tool D1 right now. That's working out fairly well for me, and I'll have a link down below for that too. But there's already a lot of other good videos about the X-Tool D1. Unfortunately, a lot of them are sponsored, so keep that in mind when you are watching those videos. All right, that's it for this one. Please go like, subscribe for more. I'll catch you next one. Thanks for watching.